I'm obsessed with problem solving. So much so that I spend my weekends competing in hackathons, which are intensive coding competitions. But that's not enough for me, because I know that you face big problems in your life. And since I'm obsessed, I want to solve your problems too. So today, I'm going to share with you my epic problem-solving strategy that I use in my hackathons and in life too. So whenever you have a challenge in your life, always think epic. So you're probably thinking, Sabrina, she's a hacker. So after this talk, she's going to send us a malicious email to get access to our bank accounts. Yeah, those were the words of my neighbor. But no, I'm actually one of very few ethical hackers out there. So instead of wanting, it's true, instead of wanting to access your bank account, I actually use my hacking for good. I spend my weekends in caffeine-induced hacking marathons, where the goal of these competitions is to solve the world's toughest problems, like helping to diagnose the most mistreated diseases, to reducing gun violence in school, and even to eliminate the drug epidemic here in Vancouver, all using technology and epic problem solving. So here's a typical 36-hour hackathon weekend. Imagine it's Friday night, where, quite frankly, I could be partying my face off, but instead, I'm here at a Princeton University auditorium for a hackathon. I'm nervous. I'm anxious, but I'm ready. I'm early seeking to assemble my diverse teammates, because diversity of thought always equals unique winning ideas. And I sort of feel like I'm on an episode of Animal Planet where I'm quietly searching for my diverse prey, and in the distance, I notice this guy with heavy eyebrows. Looks super smart and arrogant. He's sipping Red Bull with Cheeto stains all over his white shirt. And his name tag says, hacker name, D&D Master. D&D, isn't it that role-playing board game that super nerdy people play? Huh. Let me speak his nerdy language. So I said, noble knight, are you seeking alliances? And his eyebrows knit into a unibrow and says to his friend, it's a girl. He says, maybe. What are your strengths and proficiencies, my lady? And I said, hi, I'm Sabrina, hacker name Teenage Witch. And my strengths is in artificial intelligence, which is building computer systems that actually read the environment and perform human-like tasks. He says, halt, my lady. Of course I know artificial intelligence. I'm a mathematician. But my strength is in creating apps, so I think we should work together. Then all of a sudden, boom! Someone with hacker name Minerva rams into us. She's young, she's clueless, but whoa, she's oddly female. We have another episode of Animal Planet, another rare sighting of a woman in a hackathon. I instantly thought, D&D Master plus rare sighting of a woman in a hackathon together in my team equals my unique winning idea. So I said, I must have you two on my team. And before they can answer, the 8 p.m. bell goes off. And 1,000 hackers make their way towards the front seating area for the opening ceremony of the hackathon. And before I can lose them, I grabbed their hands and made my way to the front row. And I turn around and I see D&D Masters wiping his hands as if I gave him girl cooties or something. Charlie Shivar, founder of Quora, gets on stage. And his keynote is about how we shouldn't be afraid of technology taking our jobs, because technology creates new jobs. We should be more afraid that robots have software, robots have hardware, but robots have no underwear. As he wraps up his talk, 1,000 ears perk in the audience, ready to hear the big reveal of the hackathon challenge. So Charlie says, "Hackers, welcome to Hack Princeton. Your challenge is you have 36 hours to help Princeton ensure their students get jobs after graduating. The most innovative, the most creative solution wins. Go forth and code." Boom! 36 hours has officially started, and 1,000 hackers scatter like rats, all trying to find a private room to start hacking. We finally found one. And without hesitation, D&D Master says, "Listen up, teammates. Since our challenge is to help students not get jobs after graduating, we will build a Tinder-like app, which I normally use to swipe right to find a date with the noble queen, but instead, we will match students with jobs." But I jump onto my soapbox and said, "I'm uncomfortable jumping straight into one idea. Can we explore a little?" He says, "Teenage witch, we are wasting time." And I said, "No, I want to win. We need the most innovative solution. Hear me out." I have coined a process called EPIC for problem solving. It starts with E for empathy, P for problem, I for ideas, and C for create. I promise I've won dozens of hacking competitions. Please, D&D Master, hear me out. Minerva is watching all of this and nudges D&D Master to give me a chance, and he does. So here's how we solve this challenge with the EPIC approach. E is for empathy. Whatever you do, do not skip empathy, because pain points hurt. And if you do not empathize or address the pain points first, whatever you do afterwards will not get you to the best possible solution. And at the hackathon, we actually looked at a few very big pain points, like parents. How do you feel when your own kids have trouble getting jobs after graduating? Students, how do you feel when you have trouble getting jobs after graduating? Everyone, what happens to our confidence when we enter an interview and we don't have interview skills? These are just a handful of the pain points. P is for problem. P is for problem. This is where you focus on exactly what your pain point problem is. Make sure that it's very short and make sure that it's very short. And at the hackathon, we dug very deep, and we came up with one very short sentence, and it was, students are not getting jobs after graduating because they just lack interview skills. Next is I for ideas. The more ideas, the better. Focus on quantity rather than quality. No idea is crazy enough unless it involves unicorns or Justin Bieber. At the hackathon, we spent, no joke, 10 hours furiously scribbling out ideas. And if you saw our chalkboard, we had at least 100 ideas. Next is C for create. This is where you create an action plan. Pick one idea and turn it into reality. And if it doesn't work out, not to worry, because you have 99 other ideas to try out. There's no such thing as failure. And at the hackathon, we picked idea number 78. And what we decided to build is an interview evaluator app where you can video record yourself answering interview questions on your phone. And when the interview ends, you will receive feedback based on your body language and your quality of speech by the built-in artificial intelligence on the phone. So I tried it out. So what are my results? And this is what it responded. Sabrina, you looked nervous in your interview. Please refrain from talking about your obsession with eating cereal and plucking your own nose hairs. As you can see, we just used EPIC for students not getting jobs after graduating. But I often get asked, Sabrina, how is this used in real life? So imagine, just imagine you were offered an amazing job opportunity, except you find out that you must move across the country, away from your friends, your family, your way of life. Would you take the job? Now, truth is, many of you would just pass up this opportunity, or many of you would just stress out about it for weeks and weeks and weeks. But this happened to me last year, and as soon as I found out, I went straight to EPIC. E is for empathy. Who's affected and what are their pain points? Maybe your pain point is that your elderly parents require your care, or maybe your pain point is that your partner's job doesn't allow for remote work. Put yourself in the shoes of those affected. P is for problem statement. Define your problem in one short sentence. Mine was, should I stay with my friends and family in Toronto or move to Vancouver? I is for ideas. Remember, the more ideas, the better. Focus on quantity rather than quality. Sketch out as many ideas as possible. Like if you saw my bedroom wall, there were sticky notes everywhere. And one idea did involve Justin Bieber riding a unicorn, and don't ask. C is for create. This is where you actually execute your idea. And for me, I did move to Vancouver. And although I didn't build the most revolutionary app idea, but I got to my solution quickly. And what I did, because my pain point was that my mother was overprotective and it would break her heart if I moved away from her, what I decided to do is build a schedule where I would talk to my mom face-to-face via Skype 3 times a week. Because everybody knows, if mama's happy, everyone's happy. Right, moms? Right, moms? You see, we can use EPIC for big decisions in our lives that many of us must make. It's an approach used in artificial intelligence and used in life too. So going back to the hackathon story, 36 hours of caffeine-fueled hacking is officially over! Woohoo! And 1,000 of us are back in the same auditorium waiting to hear the big reveal of the hackathon winners. And 1,000 of us can barely keep our eyes open because we just haven't slept in 36 hours. So together, the judges get on stage and they shout, "The winner of Hack Princeton is Claire!" So I turn around to see who the winners are. But no one gets up. The judge repeats, "Claire! Did Team Claire leave already?" So I turned to my sleeping teammates and I said, "Psst! Hey, wake up. Do you remember what our team name was again?" D&D Master says, "Oh, it's coaching, learning, artificial intelligence readiness." Coaching, learning, artificial intelligence readiness. C-L-A-I-R. Claire? He says, "Yeah, why?" And I said, "Oh my God." I grabbed the hands of my 2 teammates, dragged them on stage because we just won the grand prize. Woo! And I totally forgot. I gave D&D Master cooties again. Sorry. Now, believe it or not, every other competitor in this competition actually built a Tinder-like app to match students with jobs after graduating. The same app we almost built if we didn't use the EPIC approach. So now imagine, how many problems can we unblock from not only our lives, but in society using Epic. We can all be ethical hackers that spends their weekends tackling the world's toughest problems. Using the Epic approach, you're almost guaranteed to get to solutions in the fastest and most revolutionary way. So, join me. Together, we can epically change the world one letter at a time. E-P-I-C.